Imagine what becomes possible when women stop dimming their greatness, when they allow their full intelligence, creativity, sensitivity, power, and all fantastic feminine qualities into leadership to radiate internally and externally. Imagine leadership spaces globally led by this kind of presence, not pressure, by authentic truth, not this sense of needing to perform. Instead, it is leadership by embodied authority, not conformity.
Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to The Rise Show and the first episode of Season 2. I hope you've had and that you're having a beautiful beginning of 2026, and I'm so happy that you're here with me. And I want to say this clearly from the very beginning. This episode marks a new era, not just for the show, but for the way leadership, visibility, and radiance are lived and expressed from here on. It's an invitation to step into a new era of you, where there is a full and embodied congruence between who you truly are, your authenticity, and how you show up in the world, your expression, 24/7, no matter where you are or what you do, as in the full, glorious, and sovereign expression of your unique and authentic self. This season moves in a new rhythm. From now on, we're releasing episodes bi-weekly, allowing each conversation to breathe, integrate, and truly land. You can also expect more interviews, more global expansive conversations, and more real rooms being opened through this space. This rhythm reflects the leadership I'm embodying deeper myself now. More presence, that's truly what it's all about. Less noise and distractions, and deeper focus, alignment, and totality in everything I do. And this episode is called A New Era of Leadership, Magnetic Visibility, Radiance, and Sovereign Authority. And I want to name something right away. This is not an episode about how to be visible. It's not about learning confidence. It's not about fixing yourself, trying to be someone else, or working hard to prove your worth or mold yourself into a version that isn't fully you. This is an episode about who you are when you stop conforming and allow yourself to radiate in your full brilliance, embracing and owning your unique skills, gifts, and talents. Because this is the truth I stand in now. Leadership that no longer conforms, radiates. And a radiant leader is magnetic. Now, this is feminine power, and it starts with embodiment. For so long, leadership, especially feminine leadership, has been mainly framed through performance. Most often that comes with a feeling of internal pressure, masculine coded effort, which means the need to prove our worth, a constant self-improvement, seeking external validation, polishing ourselves into something acceptable by some kind of norm. Even the idea of visibility has often been shaped around strategies, formulas, and external validation. For example, let's say from a branding perspective, visibility is often something, is being bought through someone outside of us, an expert, another authority that tells us how to show up, or, here's your visual expression, go be this. But there has not been a discussion or contemplation of matching our inner truth, this expression then, with our outer one. Then there will be a misalignment that can be felt. It can be felt within ourselves, and it can be felt out from the outer world as well. So what I see and what I live and lead is something else entirely. A new era of leadership is emerging, and we are talking about a new paradigm here. An era where visibility is a consequence. This is what I mean. It's not a bought strategy. We often want this quick fix and think that something superficial can fix that. No, it can't. Not if we want to be and live fully free. So again, an era where radiance is a byproduct of truth, not performance. So authority comes from embodiment, not explanation or trying to work through everything by ourselves through effort only. So this is a leadership. It is a new narrative for leadership, and it is rooted in sovereignty. And sovereignty doesn't shout, it doesn't chase, it doesn't conform or mold itself into something it's not. It stands. And in standing, it's fully seen and heard in its authentic power. I'll give you a very simple, real example of what this looks like, what it can look like in practice. So recently I reached out about a collaboration that I genuinely desired, and there was either no response or not the response that I wanted or actually expected from a company at that level. It was not so much about the reply or lack of it, because the communication style signals something and carries important information. Honestly, it clearly clarified that the level of communication didn't match either my values or my standard. And for where I'm at, I have high standards and quite non-negotiable criteria for the rooms I'm in, the circles and relationships, personally and professionally, I share my energy with. I lead with high quality as premium with clear intention. So that's naturally what I expect in return, whatever the context might be. So in this particular situation, what was most noticeable for me was what didn't happen. When I didn't get the response that I then thought I wanted. So true alignment always reveals itself through resonance. There was zero questioning of my worth, no second guessing, no energy leak at all. I simply knew if this were aligned, it would move. And because it didn't, I moved. That's what it means to know that you are the source. Not forcing, not chasing, not collapsing. That's what it means to truly feel sovereign from within and to have that being naturally mirrored out. So in this case, what has changed isn't really about my work. What has changed is my relationship to myself and how I own my value and worth. I no longer ask, is this okay? Ooh, is this too much? Will this land? Instead, I stand in. This is true. This is mine. And this is how I lead. And from that place, everything softens and strengthens at the same time. That is radiance and embodied glow that starts from within. Because let's look at radiance versus conformity. Radiance is not loud and it's not something you manufacture or purchase. Radiance happens naturally when you stop shrinking your gifts, you stop editing your truth, you stop second guessing what you truly desire and your vision and what you're capable of, and you stop performing leadership. Radiance is what happens when your inner authority and your outer expression finally align. When you remember who you were before they told you who to be. And obviously I'm speaking about the conditioning, the narrative, the norm that lives in our world just as something that is. And when we remember who we truly are and can connect with what's true to us, which means also connecting to our core values and living as them as bold statements, this is where sovereignty lives. Sovereignty is not independence from others. It's about belonging to yourself and being at home with yourself no matter what. It's the willingness to let your gifts be seen without apology, to let your strength be so obvious, and to let your presence take up space, not to dominate in any sense, but to lead and pave the path for those who need your leadership so badly. What I see in so many women right now is this exact threshold. Women who are simply done with playing small to be validated, over-explaining their value, or waiting to be chosen, versus claiming boldly, internally and externally, that I am the source. There is a quiet and bold courage rising globally among women, and I believe it is a readiness to say, I'm no longer here to fit in. It's simply not interesting for me. I'm here to lead in my own unique way because I understand that my skills, gifts, talents, and contribution are needed. And when a woman makes that internal decision, something shifts instantly. She doesn't try harder to be visible through some kind of strategy that's been bought but not embodied. She simply is. This presence is real power. It starts from within, and the world responds to that frequency. This era of leadership feels different in the body. It feels grounded, calm, self-trusting, and unapologetic at the same time. It doesn't rush to prove. It definitely doesn't need permission. It's a leadership style that says, I know who I am. I trust my voice, and I'm available to be seen. That is magnetic visibility. Not because you're trying to attract, but because you're no longer hiding or conforming in any sense, trying to fit in. You understand that it is your unique edge that holds your whole story. That is what naturally makes you stand out. Now, this is brand power done well. It's bold expression, and it's about moving into what's natural. Imagine what becomes possible when women stop dimming their greatness, when they allow their full intelligence, creativity, sensitivity, power, and all fantastic feminine qualities into, and leadership to radiate internally and externally. Imagine leadership spaces globally led by this kind of presence, not pressure, by authentic truth, not this sense of needing to perform. Instead, it is leadership by embodied authority, not conformity. So this is a place also where we, on all levels in society, we connect deeper with each other because we're so deeply connected with ourselves. That is the world I'm here to build. And I know that I'm not alone. If something in this episode resonates with you, trust that and stay open to explore what it is that feels true for you. There are always layers within us that wants to be shed. And the more we clear what we no longer want to hold within ourselves, the lighter and freer we will feel. You don't need to act on everything at once. You don't need to understand everything fully. Just let it land fully first and allow yourself to be curious about your journey and what's unfolding within you. And since we are in the beginning of a brand new year, 2026, I invite you to ask yourself, what's emerging within you? What's the vision you hold for yourself for this year and beyond? Now, the right rooms, conversations, and opportunities will reveal themselves when you are available to be seen, not when you force visibility. Trying too hard is never the answer to anything. It's an old masculine coded way of doing things, and it doesn't work for any self-aware and conscious woman or modern organization who want to lead the new era forward. And again, going back to the fact that we are in the beginning of 2026, the horse year, by the way, this is a big year. And globally, we feel it, we see it, and I'm curious about how you feel this shift within. If you have not already, I encourage you as well to go back and listen to the last episode, as it is a message for you that you can use as a signal for your frequency moving forward as you explore what a new era of you and leading in a new paradigm, what that could look like and what it will look like for you when you step boldly into the full, radiant, and sovereign expression of who you truly are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for walking this path of leadership with me and for being an example of what's possible when we lead with light. And season 2 of The Rise Show is just beginning. And as always, it's an honor to lead this conversation with you. And until next time, keep rising in your own way, in your own truth and rhythm and speed. Trust your radiance and let your sovereignty naturally grow from within. And again, I invite you to explore what inner authority truly means to you at this exact moment in your life and how stepping boldly into it would and could impact and expand every area of your life, personally and professionally. I'm adding that as always. And also to take it further, what could and would your expansion mean to the world, those you have closest, and also from a perspective of service and deep felt contribution. That's it for now.
If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister you know needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.